Since the year 2000, over 200 people have disappeared from cruise ships. They are not found in the water. They are not found on shore. They simply vanish between one port and the next. And the cruise lines refuse to say how it keeps happening. Since the year 2000, over 200 people have vanished from cruise ships. Not all at once. One at a time. They board the ship in one port and are not on it when it reaches the next. They are not found in the water. They are not found on shore. They simply stop existing. The cruise industry calls these incidents man overboard events. But that term implies an accident. And the evidence in many cases suggests something far more disturbing. In 2005, George Allen Smith IV, a 26-year-old man on his honeymoon, disappeared from a Royal Caribbean cruise ship in the Mediterranean. His wife, Jennifer, woke up in a hallway on a different deck with no memory of the previous night. Blood was found on the overhang below their balcony. George's body was never recovered. Turkish authorities investigated. The FBI investigated. No one was ever charged. In 2011, a 65-year-old retired schoolteacher named Judith McGill disappeared from a Princess cruise ship during a transatlantic crossing. She was last seen by security cameras walking alone on Deck 7 at 2:30 a.m. There was no footage of her falling or jumping. No footage of anyone with her. She simply walked off camera and was never seen again. In 2019, a 20-year-old college student disappeared from a Carnival cruise ship near Cuba. Security footage showed him climbing onto his balcony railing at 4 a.m. He fell. His body was never recovered. His family questioned why the ship's motion sensors, which are supposed to detect objects going overboard, failed to trigger an alarm. These are not isolated incidents. The International Cruise Victims Association maintains a database of disappearances. Their data shows that an average of approximately 19 people per year vanish from cruise ships. Some are confirmed suicides. Some are confirmed accidents. But a significant number, roughly 30 to 40%, remain unexplained. The structural problem is jurisdiction. When a person disappears from a cruise ship in international waters, no single law enforcement agency has clear authority. The ship may be registered in the Bahamas, operated by an American company, carrying passengers from dozens of countries, and sailing through the territorial waters of multiple nations. Each entity can claim it is not responsible for the investigation. Cruise lines are not required by law to report disappearances to any government within a specific time frame. There is no mandatory requirement for ships to carry man overboard detection systems, though many newer ships have voluntarily installed them. There is no independent agency that investigates cruise ship disappearances the way the NTSB investigates plane crashes. The Cruise Vessel Security and Safety Act, passed by the U.S. Congress in 2010, requires cruise lines to report crimes to the FBI when American citizens are involved. But the law has significant gaps. It does not apply to non-American passengers. It does not require the preservation of crime scene evidence beyond 24 hours. And it relies on the cruise lines themselves to determine what qualifies as a reportable incident. Former FBI agents who have investigated cruise ship cases describe a pattern. When a person disappears, the ship's security team conducts the initial investigation. By the time port authorities or the FBI are contacted, often days later, the cabin has been cleaned, potential evidence has been discarded, and witnesses have dispersed to their home countries. The ships themselves are forensic nightmares. A modern cruise ship carries 5,000 to 7,000 people. It has thousands of security cameras, but the footage is typically stored for only 72 hours before being overwritten. The ship is cleaned continuously. The ocean itself destroys evidence. A body that enters the water in the middle of the night may never be found. Families of the missing have described a consistent experience. The cruise line expresses sympathy. They offer a partial refund. They assign a liaison officer to communicate with the family. And then, gradually, communication stops. The investigation is handed off to an authority in whatever country the ship happened to be nearest. That authority, overwhelmed with its own cases, deprioritizes the investigation. The cruise industry is a $150 billion annual business. Over 30 million passengers board cruise ships every year. The disappearance of 19 people per year is, statistically, a rounding error. The industry argues that cruises are among the safest forms of travel, and statistically, they are correct. Your odds of disappearing from a cruise ship are far lower than your odds of dying in a car accident. But statistics are cold comfort to the families of the missing. They are left with security footage that ends mid-corridor, cabins that have been cleaned before investigators arrive, and an industry that has every legal and financial incentive to make the problem disappear as quietly as the people themselves. Over 200 people. Gone between ports. Most never found. And a system designed in a way that ensures most of them never will be. If you found this fascinating, subscribe for more stories like this. We post new videos every week.